Let me start with a statement that sounds almost too simple. The biggest threat to your wealth is not underperformance. It's not surviving long enough to compound. Most investors think diversification is about improving returns, about smoothing out volatility, about optimization. But that's not its real job. Today, we're continuing the Always Be Compounding Principle series with a rule that quietly determines whether you stay in the game or get knocked out. Diversification is about survival, not optimization. Hello, fellow compounders. I'm Chen, CFA charter holder, former hedge fund manager, and chief compounder here at the Always Be Compounding Club. This video is part of the Always Be Compounding Principles series, a structured system designed to help you build wealth that survives real market cycles. Let's anchor where we are in the arc. In episode 0, we defined the North Star: protect real purchasing power over time. In episode 1, we learned that time in the market beats timing the market. In episode 2, we saw that behavior beats intelligence. In episode 3, we learned that simplicity beats complexity. In episode 4, we accepted that volatility is the price of long-term returns. In episode 5, we saw that friction compounds against you. In episode 6, we learned that liquidity prevents forced selling. In episode 7, we aligned risk with the ability and willingness. In episode 8, we optimized asset location because where asset lives affects how much return you keep. In episode 9, we clarified income versus total return because returns are tools, not goals. So now, in episode 10, we're answering a critical question: what keeps the entire system alive when something goes wrong? Before we dive in, a quick but important disclaimer. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not financial, investment, or tax advice. All figures and examples are hypothetical and for illustration only. I'm sharing general information and examples, not recommendations tailored to you. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Your situation is unique. Always do your own research and consult a qualified financial professional before making any decisions. The answer is diversification, properly understood. Now, let's talk about why diversification is often misunderstood. Segment 1, the optimization trap. Most investors learn diversification through modern portfolio theory, charts, efficient frontiers, correlation matrices, and the message sounds something like this: if you diversify correctly, you'll maximize risk-adjusted returns. That sounds reasonable, but it's incomplete because investors don't fail on spreadsheets. They fail in real life. During recessions, during crashes, during personal crises, diversification is not about squeezing out an extra 0.5%. It's about avoiding catastrophic failure. And history is brutally clear on this point. Segment 2. Why survival beats outperformance. History is filled with investors who were right and still went broke. Too concentrated, too leveraged, too exposed to a single idea. Being right doesn't matter if you can't stay solvent. Diversification exists to answer one question: what if I'm wrong? Or more accurately, what if something happens that I didn't even imagine? Because the biggest risks are rarely the ones that you model. This is why diversification and risk are not the same thing. Segment 3. Diversification is not about reducing volatility. Here's a key clarification. Diversification does not eliminate volatility. Markets still fail. Assets still decline. Portfolios still draw down. What diversification does is reduce the risk of permanent loss. It prevents one bad outcome from destroying the entire system. Volatility, you can survive. Ruin, you cannot. And this is where many investors go wrong. Segment 4, the danger of concentration. Concentration feels efficient. If you're confident, why dilute your best ideas? The problem is not conviction. The problem is fragility. Concentrated portfolios work brilliantly until they don't. And when they fail fast. Single stocks blow up. Single sectors collapse. Single countries stagnate for decades. Diversification exists to keep those failures from becoming fatal. Now, let's connect it back to the ABC system. Segment 5, diversification as system insurance. Think of diversification as insurance for compounding. You don't buy insurance because you expect disaster. You buy it because you cannot afford ruin. Diversification protects against economic shocks, policy mistakes, technological disruption, geopolitical events, and personal timing risk. Most of these cannot be predicted, so they must be absorbed. That's what diversification does. But there's an important balance here. Segment 6. Over-diversification is also a risk. Diversification taken too far creates a different problem. Too many holdings, too many funds, too much complexity. At some point, diversification stops reducing risk and starts increasing friction. More monitoring, more rebalancing, more decision fatigue. Remember principle 3? Simplicity beats complexity. ABC diversification is deliberate, not maximal. So what does good diversification look like? Segment 7. What the ABC system means by diversification. In the ABC system, diversification means multiple sources of return, different economic drivers, no single point of failure. It does not mean owning everything, chasing low correlations, constant tinkering. ABC diversification is about survivability, durability, and resilience. If one part struggles, the system continues. And this ties directly to behavior. Segment 8. Diversification supports behavior. Diversified portfolios are easier to live with. They reduce regret, they reduce panic, they reduce the urge to fix things. When one asset struggles, another often holds up better. The emotional offset matters. Remember principle 2? Behavior beats intelligence. Diversification exists to keep behavior intact when market tests you. A quick pause here. Inside the Always Be Compounding Club, we help investors build portfolios that are diversified enough to survive, but simple enough to maintain. No optimization theater, no unnecessary complexity. Just resilient systems designed to compound through real markets. If that sounds useful, you can learn more and join for free using the link in the description below. Segment 9. How Principle 10 fits the ABC system. Principle number 10 ties the entire system together. Diversification supports time in the market, behavioral discipline, risk alignment, liquidity planning, friction control. It doesn't guarantee success, but it dramatically reduces the odds of catastrophic failure. And avoiding ruin is the first rule of compounding. Takeaway: don't optimize for perfection. Optimize for survival. The goal is not to have the best possible outcome. The goal is an outcome you can actually reach. Diversification is not about being clever. It's about being still here when compounding has time to do its work. That's the ABC way. In the final episode of this series, we'll step back and look at the big picture, how all these principles come together into one single system, and why process matters more than any single decision. If this episode helped you rethink diversification, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend. And remember, the key to building wealth is to always be compounding. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in episode 11. Take care.